Hello and welcome to Gold TCM. And today we are talking about how to make your money make you money and your bills to pay you. I came up with the concept in order to help people make their money make them money. A lot of us do not know the things that we already have in our hands. But there is something that we have. It's a dream, it's a goal, it's a thing that we do on a regular, everyday basis that we may not completely understand. But it's something that could potentially make us money. There's a scripture that I go by in the Bible. It talks about Elijah. It talks about this woman whose creditors came to her house and threatened to take her children if she didn't pay her husband's debt. She didn't know what to do, so she went to a man named Elijah. And when she went to this man named Elijah, he told her, "What do you have in your house?" A lot of us have things that we do not know that we already possess that can help us and show us how to make money. So today, I'm going to be teaching you what it is that you potentially already have in your own house to help you brainstorm in order to figure out what it is that is within you that can be made and used in order to make you money. And not only am I going to do that, I'm going to show you from that point how you can use it to make money. All right? So let's begin. Going to open a blank note. This is actually part of what we are going to be discussing. This is Evernote. I use this as a note-taking process in order to help me determine what it is that I would like to do. So, going to open in a new window a note. Here, we're going to start by discussing what it is to make your money make you money. So, what is that? Well, a lot of us have gifts and talents that we do not know that we possess. When I was in my darkest season of my life, I made the decision to sit down and make a list of the things that I was good at. I've always loved, desired. It was a thing that I was interested in. Okay? And because it was the things that I was interested in, it allowed me the ability to see what I was good at and then determine and deem how I was going to use that to make money. So, here is a brainstorming list. I'm going to do a double-sided brainstorming list where I'm going to show you what I did, and then I'm going to give you a list of things that you could probably do. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to find the insert, which is right there. And I'm going to insert a table with two sides. As you can see, I'm going to enlarge this table a little bit so that it's two sides that aren't all that. And this is going to be my list. So what is my list? Well, when I decided to sit down and determine what it was that I was good at, I sat down and thought about the things that it was that I was good at. When I was a child, I used to be a person that loved drama. I used to act out all of my books. So because I used to act out all of my books, later I discovered that I love to write. So the first thing that I would write down here is writing. How can I use writing? Maybe I want to be a blogger. Next, what else was I good at? Food. I remember when I was 12, I made a huge dinner for my mother for Mother's Day. And I remember she cried that day. I don't know whether it was the card or the food, but I made her steak and I made her greens and I made her pasta, her favorite pasta, and she was so happy. Food was what I loved. Also, when I was a child, I loved to bake and cook desserts. One of our favorite things to do, me and my mother, was to bake. So we used to go out and we'd get the cake recipes and the cake box mixes, and we make cakes. So I learned how to make cupcakes and cakes and all that kind of stuff because it was one of the things that I love to do. So if you love baking, desserts. Then from there, I was always an artist. I loved art. I was an art major in middle school. I was top of my class in elementary school. I ended up on the wall for like a month or so. I always used to get kudos in my art classes. And so I loved art. And because I was a lover of art, that transitioned into my love of design. I actually fell in love with fashion design. So another thing for me would be fashion design. So with fashion design, when I was in high school, I picked it back up after not doing it in middle school. And when I had the opportunity, the way to get into the fashion design course was to take interior design. Now, I had always, as a child, loved to sit with my mother on Sundays and watch this show called Your New Home. And in it, you would always see the layouts of these brand new homes. So I loved the idea of decorating a house. So the next thing would be for me, interior design. So after that, because I was an artist, we could go back and we could say illustration. And as well, because I was a writer, I not only could do blogs, I could write scripts. All you need is to know what the format or formula for scripts is. I used to write stories. All the time. And finally, what else? I could also do music. I love music. I love listening to music. I love writing music. Music's one of my favorite things. It's my detox from when I'm not working. So this is my list. This is the stuff that I brainstorm. So now what? What are you going to do with it? How can you do something for you? Well, let's say this. This is your list. And you like drama. Maybe you want to create you love listening to stuff, watching TV, love reality shows. Maybe you want to create a YouTube series. I know of a woman who created her own YouTube series a few years ago, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, and it led her to quit her job. She created her entire business online, creating a web series, following her life, her relationship, her marriage, her kids, the birth of her children, so on and so forth. And she built an entire business around that. Ended up on Real Housewives of Atlanta from it. Had distribution rights for her online YouTube series to multiple different channels. So you can do that if you like. But my suggestion and warning to you is, if you desire to do your own reality series, make sure that you keep it to you. You do not sell it to a network, a brand, unless it's independent or an independent brand channel that you have created. Because anybody that takes your video, your footage, records you, what have you, for instance, Real Housewives of Atlanta, they're going to cut it in a way that is going to portray you whichever way that they feel like they want to portray you. So it may not be authentic to who you are and mess up your entire business system, whatever it is that you're trying to create. Okay? Next. I said music over here. Since we're in that field, let's say music. Let's say you like to make beats, you like melody, you like sound, so on and so forth. Then start looking up how to create beats and sounds and music. There's so many different free platforms that you can use to create, download, buy jingle, music, beats, free beats. There are beats that you can buy, full systems that you can get. That will give you all of the audio that you would need in order to build out what it is you're desiring to build. Okay. Then you can take that. And a good way to start is to use a podcast system or something like that. If you like to talk, great. Then you can do an audio talk show, a radio talk show. Maybe you're a person that has always had a ability to love to mix things, mix drinks, mix. Who knows? So you could go and you could get waters. You can go get fresh fruits. You could go get teas. You can get base teas. You can get all of these types of teas, and you can create your own mixes for your own brand of tea. It's just a thought. You could do the same thing with coffee. You could do the same thing with chocolate. Do whatever. This would be your drink thing. We're adults now. We don't need to have the lemonade stand. And even as adults, if you want to have a lemonade stand with all different kinds of liquid lemonades of the adult kind, you can choose to do that too. So, or juicing. If you like to blend juices and drinks, you can create a juicing platform and then have the subsidiary be your teas, be your hot chocolates, be your coffees, be your what have you. Anything. Food. Let's say you're a food person. There are things about food and diet and things, meal preps and all of these types of things that you like, but there's a way that you do it that isn't like the way everybody else does. So because it's the way you do it and it's not the way that everybody else does it, you could do a food prep service. Could turn into one of those baskets that people do. That could be a home delivery service, especially in today's society. People want home delivery services. At the end of the day, you just research it. You're a cook, you're a baker, you love to bake things. There's all different kinds of ways that you can bake cookies, cakes, this, that, and the other. You don't particularly need a pastry chef license, but you can get one. I know I can honestly say I am fully trained as a chef. So I was trained in culinary. So I don't brag about it, but I do that. But it's helpful for what it is that I'm teaching you to do and so forth. What else? You can just use your day to day. Let's talk about making your bills pay you. If you want to make your bills pay you, what do you have? What are your major bills? Medical bills. How do you make a medical bill pay you back? You turn around and you will change what is it that you're having medical issues in. Write down every medical issue that you have and look into a health source that you can use to create a healthy form and start to promote and sell a health business. So we'll put a health business. Dental bills. Everybody has teeth. We all have dental bills. You have dental issues, so on and so forth. You need to create something that helps with the teeth. So what is it? Whether you are selling whitening trays, whether you are dealing with cleaning the teeth or whatever it is that you feel like you would do. There are people that would literally, if people can go into the thrift store, buy books, keep books, turn the books, flip them and put them online, you can go get all these little cheapy health trays, Invisaligns with the bleach juice, what have you, and sell them online. There's no reason that you shouldn't be able to create something. So let's say dental. Once I figure out how to spell dental. Ha ha ha. Yeah. How do you make your bill pay you if you have a car? That one's easy. Have you ever heard of Uber? You can become an Uber driver, Lyft driver, or you can have your own service where you create your own no-name service, and then you can do multiple things. Look at Uber. Uber has Uber Eats, where they deliver food to people just like Grubhub and all of that, but they do it by car and people will go just pick up your food and bring it to you. Uber Eats. You could use your car as a service that will show a postal, show promotions on it. You've seen it when you see the race car drivers in the big cars take and do the racing, what have you. And they have all of these stamps on their cars from all of these companies that are sponsoring their car. Sponsored ads on their car. You're making money by the people paying you to put the ad on your car. Like people do with billboards on walls and all of these types. There's ways to make money out of the dumbest things. Okay? What other bill that you have that could pay you? Let's just leave it at that for right now. I don't want to give you all my secrets. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. So for this part of the video, we have now set up what it is that you would do to brainstorm for whatever it is that you are trying to brainstorm. Now I'm going to fix this because I just realized I spelled radio wrong. But all of these things, there are things that you can do. Now I know that your biggest question would be after that, well, now that I know what I can do, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to outline you a special report of how you can use this to create a business. Does that sound good to you? Well, with that, I'm also going to offer you something. I'm going to give you a few of my tips in relation to what it is when you are expecting to birth a business. So, when you are expecting to birth a business, you go through the same birthing pains that you go through when you are actually trying to birth a child. Believe it or not, you do. You go through the emotional mood swings, all of these types of things when you're trying to birth a business, the process, the problems, the this, that, and the other. So I'm going to give you a resource in order to help you birth this thing that you're going to create that is going to be the game changer for your entire life, business, and practice. Does that sound good to you? I know it does. So, with that, this is Taj McCameron, and until the next video, we will be working on the next step of this process. See you soon.